Pre-recorded Zoom class, strong power flow. Start into Tadasana at the top of your mat. Inhale, bring the arms up by your ears, thumbs together, gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale, fold the body forward from the waist, bring the hands to the floor. Inhale, half lift the chest, straighten the legs. Exhale, plant the hands down under the shoulders, step back to your high plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, lower your body to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest and shoulders off the floor, up dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Breathing here, trying to create space between the shoulders and the ears. Fingers are spread nice and wide, heels reaching down to the floor. Draw the navel into the spine. Good. Try to gaze through to the thighs. Inhale, take the gaze forward now, stepping or jumping up into that space. Fold the body over. Inhale, push the feet into the floor, bring the torso back up, let the arms float up by your ears, palms together and through the midline. Let's go again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, scoop the belly in. Exhale, step back, high plank and lower to low plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift the shoulders up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. This class was recorded live with the voiceover recorded afterwards, so do not look at the screen as I am. Try to follow my voice. Your gaze in down dog should be through the thighs. Breathing deeply. Inhale, jumping or stepping forward. Exhale, fold the body over. Inhale, push the feet into the floor, reaching all the way up. And exhale as you bring the hands back down again. And again, inhale, arms up. Surya Namaskar A. Exhale, fold the body over. Sun Salutation A. Lift the chest. Exhale, high plank. Elbows in as you lower to the floor. Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Breath is steady. Belly is drawn in. Navel to spine. Space between the shoulders and the ears. Fingers are spread wide. Push down into the backs of the fingertips. Lifting the quads up from the knees. Breathing steadily and evenly. Take the gaze forward, stepping or jumping up into that space. Fold the body over. Exhale. Inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Hands down by your sides. Inhale, bend the knees, reach the hands down. Keep the bottom low as you reach the arms up. Folding forward. From Utkatasana to your forward fold, lift the chest, step back. Lower down to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step in the right leg forward, come up to warrior one. Exhale as you fold the body back down to the floor. High plank, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. Left leg comes through for warrior one on the left leg. Arms up by your ears and then exhale all the way back down to the floor. Inhale up, torso up. Exhale, bottom up. Upward dog to downward facing dog. Come back to the breath. Steady and even inhales and exhales in your downward facing dog. Look to the space between the hands. That's where we're going next. Step up, walk up, jump up, however you want to get up there. Fold the body over. Inhale, bend the legs, reach back up to that chair pose, Utkatasana, and stand up nice and tall. Bring the hands back down to your side and then come back into an Utkatasana chair pose. Take the gaze up to the thumbs if you can. Fold the body over. Inhale, lift and lengthen the chest. Exhale, step back to plank and low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Exhale, step right leg forward, lift the torso up, arms up by your ears. Exhale, come all the way back down to the floor. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot comes through, warrior one on the left side. Rotate that right heel in and down. Arms up, torso up. Exhale, lower back down to the floor, building the heat now. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath is steady as always. Downward facing dog is a place to find the breath again. You can always drop the knees, come to all fours, or even child's pose here. Give the wrists a break. Good. On your next inhale, look to the space between the hands. That's where we're heading next. Stepping, jumping, floating up into that space. Fold the body over. Inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms up, chair pose. Good. Hold the chair pose here. Try and keep the shoulders up, arms up by the ears. And then taking this chair pose into a flat back chair pose. So keep the knees bent. Try and bring the torso, the spine flat. Good. Reach the crown of the head towards the front of the mat. Now we're placing the hands down under the shoulders. You might want to stay here. You might want to bend the knees, tuck the knees into the upper arms or the armpits, and find a crow pose, or even just preparation for crow pose by lifting one foot and then the other off the floor. Jump back from wherever you are to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift the shoulders up, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Back to the breath. Focus the mind on the breath. And then stepping or jumping up to the top of the mat again. Fold the body over. Bend the knees. Reach back up. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, standing nice and tall. Just taking that chair pose again. Fold the body over. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step back to high plank, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Step the right leg forward. Come back to warrior one pose. Good. Holding your arms up by your ears. Remember, your front leg is straight, your back leg is rotated. Bring weight into the back, the left outside edge of the left foot. Good. Holding strong, navel to spine, ribs together. As you exhale, open out into your warrior two pose. So legs are in the same position. We've opened out the torso and the arms towards the side of the mat. And then we're straightening both legs, reaching far away with our right arm, and then coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Right hand down to the foot, ankle or a block. Left arm up to the ceiling. Straighten the legs and draw the inner thighs in toward each other. If you've got a block there, reach for the block or reach your hand just in front of the right foot. Bend the right knee and then lift that left leg off, coming into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Pushing everything away from the midline, from the core. So we're pushing the right hand down, left hand up. Left heel away from you. Now bring the torso down to the floor. Bring the hands under the shoulders. 3 little hops here. Bend into the right knee and try and hop your right foot off the floor. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Try all 3 or maybe just take 1. Bring yourself back to a high plank. Exhale, lower the body down to the floor, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left side. Step the left leg into the space between the hands. Rotate the right heel down. Come into warrior one, Virabhadrasana one on the left side. Bringing some weight into the outside edge of that right foot. Lifting the right thigh, but keep the ribs, chest, the torso is facing the left leg, the front leg. Good. Breathing deeply. Inhale and exhaling. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to move into warrior two pose. Opening, straightening the left leg. Reach forward. Reaching down to your left ankle or foot with your left hand, triangle pose. Squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. You can bring your hands to your big toe, top of your foot. You can use a block here. I'm just demonstrating a few different examples. Taking the gaze up to the top hand. Grounding down through both heels. And now start to bring your hand to a foot or block in front of your left foot. Bend into the left knee and shift the weight forward, bringing your right leg off. Half moon pose. Any variation of this that you wish to take. Holding the balance steady if you can. Don't worry if you can't. Bring that right arm back to the floor. Rotate yourself down into a standing split. And we'll try 3 more body hops on this side. So lifting the right leg up and trying to hop your legs up and down. High plank, exhale down to your low plank. Inhale to your upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. In downward facing dog, navel to spine, finding that space. Always the option to lower to your knees or to child's pose here. Good. Take the gaze to the space between the hands. That's where we're heading. We're jumping or stepping into that space. Exhale, fold the body over. Inhale, push the feet into the floor all the way back up to standing. Exhale, let the arms come back down. Step your right leg back. Bend into your left leg and bring your left forearm to your left thigh for extended side angle pose. Reaching that right arm up in line with your ear, reaching toward the front of the mat. And there's variations here if you normally bring the hand down to the floor in front or behind of your left foot, but keep reaching your right arm towards the top of the mat. Keep reaching your right ribs towards the ceiling. Stand back up, rotate the left toes in and bring yourself into a wide leg forward fold. So both the toes and heels are facing the side of the mat. Taking our wide leg forward fold version A. If you can, bringing the fingertips in line with the toes, bending the elbows through the legs, bringing the crown of the head to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, bring the hands to the hips, squeeze your inner thighs together, push into the floor, bring yourself up to standing, rotate your right toes out, bend into your right knee, extended side angle on the right side. Leave your right arm on the thigh. There is no rush to bring the hands to the floor. Keep thinking about bringing your top rib, so this is your left rib on this side, toward the ceiling. Inhale, bring yourself back up to warrior two, straighten the right leg, bring the right toes in. Swing the hands behind you, interlink the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Wide leg forward fold version C, bringing yourself forward and allowing the arms to fall over the head towards the ground in front of you. Relax the back of the shoulders. Try to breathe steadily and evenly here. Good. Pulling up through the backs of the legs, keeping strong through the core. Pull yourself all the way back up to standing. Release the hands, bend into the left leg and step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, bring the arms up by the shoulders. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, high plank, lower to the floor, low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Good. Lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. Right leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Shift your weight forward so you're almost in a plank position. Inhale, lift the right leg back up to the ceiling. Exhale, scoop it through the middle of the body and drop it down into that space between the Hands, rotate your back heel. Lift your arms up, warrior one. Now swing the arms behind you as you exhale. Interlink the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together and come into your humble warrior, folding your torso down into the space inside of your right thigh. Let the arms float over the head towards the floor in front of you. Strong legs, engage through the inner thighs. Bring yourself back up to warrior one. Exhale, bring your torso down. Step your right leg back to high plank. Exhale. Roll onto the outside edges of your feet, bringing your weight into your left arm. Now slowly bring the right arm up. You're finding a side plank here. Drop that left knee down if you need to, or keep both feet off the floor. So we're on the knife edges of our feet here, and we're really lifting the left side of the body away from the mat. Side plank, strong pose. Bring that right leg back into the space between the hands. You're in a high lunge. Palms of the hands under the shoulders, flat on the floor. Step back with your right leg, high plank. Exhale to your low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift the left leg up on an inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Bring the weight forward here. Good. Inhale, lift the leg up high, and as you exhale, swing it underneath you through that midline, drop it into the space between the hands. Rotate your right heel in and down, find warrior one, left leg. Swing the leg, arms behind, interlink the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades. Humble warrior, we are dropping our left rib to the inside of our left thigh. Gaze down through the space between the legs. Breathing here, allowing the arms to fold forward. Bring your hands back down, rotate yourself back to a high lunge. Step the left leg back, rotating into your right-sided side plank. Variations of side plank. Take whichever one feels good for you today. Strong through that right arm. Lift the right side of the body off away from the mat. Good. Bring the left hand down. Step the left leg forward into the space between the hands. Step it back into a high plank. Drop down to the low plank, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Check in with your breath here. Inhale and exhale, look to the space between the hands. Step yourself up into that space. Fold the body over. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Bring yourself all the way back up to standing. Exhale, drop the hands down by your side. Lift your right knee up. Squeeze that right knee into the chest, or just leave the hand under the knee. Reach for the toes, calves, ankle. Try and straighten your right leg out. Don't worry if you can't, you can keep this leg bent. Standing balance, shoulders over hips. Breathe deeply here. Ground down through that supporting leg as you take that leg out to the right hand side. If you want the challenge, take the gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale, bring the leg back to center. With it straight or bent, and now straighten the leg, hands to the hips, hold it out there for a breath. Bring the right foot back down to the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, exhale down to your chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to your up dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Step yourself up to the top of the mat. Fold the body over. Exhale. Inhale, strong legs as you reach all the way back up. Exhale, let the arms float down by your sides, picking the left leg up. Remember, you don't have to straighten the leg here. You can keep the leg bent. It's a standing balance. We're balancing on one leg. Keep the shoulders over the hips. Keep the navel engaged. Navel to the front of the spine. Take the leg out to the side. Gaze over the right shoulder for an extra challenge. You don't have to take that challenge. You can keep your gaze forward. The challenge is the balance. Bring the leg back to center. Stretch the leg out. Hold it out there and then drop the leg back down again. Inhale, lift the arms up. Another vinyasa. Exhale, fold the body over. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, come back to your high plank. Exhale, down to your low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From here, we're going to start to walk the hands, elbow down to the floor, left elbow down to the floor, right elbow down to the floor, coming into dolphin pose. Good. Take the gaze to the space between the thumbs. Now we're going to try and shunt the weight forward, dropping the chin to the space between the thumbs. Try it 3 times. Good. Come back to a downward facing dog. So lift the right arm off, lift the left arm off. Breathing here, downward dog. Now we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet and toe heel our feet to the outside of our mat. Start to send the sit bones down, coming into a squat here. So bending the knees and try and lift the torso up. Hands can be in heart center in prayer. Malasana squat. Try and sink the bottom right down and breathe here. Good. Bring the hands back down to the floor. Underneath the shoulders, send the sit bones up, toe heel the feet back to behind your wrists. Walk yourself back all the way to a high plank position. We're going to lower to the floor for 5 counts. So Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands under the shoulders, release the toes. Lift the shoulders off the floor, coming into a cobra position. Squeezing the elbows into the ribs. Exhale, bring the torso back down. Tuck the toes, lift yourself back up through all fours. Hovering the knees off for a few counts in bear pose, and then send the sit bones back up, downward facing dog. Good. Gaze through the thighs here. Breathing equally. Inhale, look to the space between the hands, stepping or jumping up into that space. Exhale, fold the body over. Inhale, push the feet into the floor, bring your arms up by your ears. Exhale, back down. Another vinyasa. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold the body over. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the chest. Exhale, high plank to the floor, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Coming through to via your knees, or take a little hop through to seated position. Rock onto the back of the sit bones. Lift the shins off the floor, coming into Navasana, the boat pose. Shins parallel with the ceiling. Squeeze the knees and thighs together. Hands down by your shins. Breathing steadily and evenly. Now dropping down to a half boat. Scooping the belly up. Keeping the shoulders, top of the rib cage off the floor, feet off the floor. And then exhale, release down into your final resting pose. Pause the video here and take your Shavasana as long as you need it. Relax, enjoy. I'll see you on the mat again soon. Thank you, everybody.